Level 1. The Debt-Ridden Slave. Your paycheck hits at 6:07 a.m. For 3 seconds, you feel relief. Then, the money starts disappearing before you even get out of bed. Rent takes its piece. The credit card takes its minimum payment. The car loan takes another bite. Insurance, gas, groceries, the subscription you forgot to cancel, the old mistake you are still paying interest on. By 6:10, the money is not gone. It is worse than gone. It was never yours. This is the first rank. Not poverty, captivity. You are not chained to a wall. You are chained to due dates, overdue notices, bank balances, and numbers in red that somehow know how to find you in the dark. The room is blue-black. Your phone glows on the mattress. One notification lights up, and your heart moves before your hand does. You already know what it is. Another reminder, another warning, another small digital knock from the life you keep pretending is under control. You go to work anyway. You answer emails. You nod in meetings. You laugh when someone asks how things are going, because the truth would make the room too heavy. Inside, you are counting. Not goals, payments, not dreams, due dates. That is what debt does. It does not just take money. It takes space inside your skull. One night, you stop running. You open every account, every bill, every balance, every minimum payment. The number is ugly, but now the enemy has a face. And a warrior cannot fight what he refuses to look at. Level 2, the Silent Hermit. You do not announce the change. You just start disappearing. The group chat lights up on Friday afternoon. Drinks downtown. Someone's birthday dinner. A weekend trip nobody can really afford. But everyone talks like money is a problem for later. You stare at the screen. Then you mute it. Not because you hate them, because every yes has been keeping you weak. At 2 a.m., the city is still alive outside your window. Neon signs, traffic, people laughing in places you used to pay to feel included. You sit under a desk lamp in the same old hoodie, eating a cheap meal from a chipped bowl, staring at a budget that looks less like math and more like surgery. Cut this, cancel that, sell the thing you bought to impress people who barely remember it. This is ghost mode. Cold, quiet, misunderstood. A friend calls you cheap. Another says you changed. They are right. The old version of you is dying, and he is not going quietly. He still wants the invite, the story, the photo, the proof that you are not falling behind. But you stay locked in. 1 month passes. For the first time, your money does not leak out faster than it comes in. Not enough to celebrate, enough to notice, enough to feel something sharpen inside you. You thought silence meant weakness. Now you understand. Silence is where weapons are made. Level 3, the Relentless Striker. The first time you strike back, you lose money. Not all of it, just enough to make your stomach go cold. Enough to realize that courage without skill is just another expensive mistake. This is where you stop only defending your life. You stop only cutting, canceling, hiding, surviving. You start attacking. You wake up earlier. You train before work. You take calls after hours. You study the market with tired eyes and a cheap notebook open beside your laptop. You try a side hustle. It flops. You send a proposal. It gets ignored. You make what feels like your first real money move, and the screen turns red before the week is over. For a moment, the old fear comes back. Maybe this is why people stay small. Maybe this is why they call ambition dangerous. But then something different happens. You do not run from the loss. You study it. You write down what you missed. Bad timing. No risk control. Too much ego. Not enough skill. You stop treating failure like proof you are weak and start treating it like tuition. This is the second humbling. You thought becoming a warrior meant swinging harder. Now you learn it means getting sharper. The next time you move slower, cleaner, less desperate. You build a skill someone actually pays for. You close a small client. You get your first side income payment. It is not huge, but it is real. For the first time, money comes from something you built, not just hours you sold. And when that notification hits, it does not feel like rescue. It feels like proof. You are no longer waiting for life to stop hitting you. You have started hitting back. Level 4, the Wealth Commander. The day you become dangerous is not the day you make more money. It is the day money stops controlling your emotions. You sit in front of the screen, But this time, your hand is steady. No panic, no gambling pulse, no desperate need for one move to save your life. The room is brighter now. Gold light cuts across the desk. The city sits below the window like a board you are finally learning how to read. This is no longer survival. This is command. Every dollar has a job now. Some stand guard, some create cash flow, some move into assets, some wait for opportunity, some protect the people you love, some are sent forward to fight quietly in places your body does not have to go. You stop asking, can I afford this? You start asking, what mission does this money serve? That question changes everything. Because a broke man spends to feel powerful for one night, a commander uses restraint to stay powerful for years. But this level humbles you in a different way. More money does not make you safer if your ego is still reckless. More options do not make you wiser if you still chase noise. More leverage does not make you free if you cannot control your hand when the world gets loud. One bad command can kill years of discipline. So you slow down, you study risk, you respect compounding, you build systems instead of chasing explosions. You learn that wealth is not built by emotional men trying to prove a point. It is built by calm men who can give orders and wait. And for the first time, money no longer feels like a monster. It feels like an army. And you are no longer running from the battlefield. You are standing above it. Level 5, the Silent Sovereign. Nobody knows how protected they are because of you. That is the first sign you have reached this level. Not the car, not the watch, not the house, not the photo of your seat in first class angled perfectly toward the window. The real proof is much quieter. It is your mother eating dinner across from you, asking if you have been sleeping enough, while a folder sits in the drawer behind her with documents she may never need to understand. Insurance, accounts, emergency plans, estate documents, a system built in silence so the people you love never have to feel the panic you once felt at 6:07 a.m. Outside, your old car is still in the driveway. The same scratch near the back door, the same engine sound, the same key on the table beside a glass of water. A younger version of you would have hated that. He wanted the upgrade, the proof, the moment people looked at him and knew he made it. But now you understand something most men learn too late. Looking rich can still be poverty if it needs witnesses. You scroll past men flexing online. New car, new watch, new view, new caption about freedom. And for the first time, you do not feel behind. You feel distant. Not better than them, just no longer trapped in the same hunger, because you are no longer owned by the room, no longer owned by panic, no longer owned by applause, no longer owned by the need to make strangers believe you are powerful. Your power is sitting at a quiet dinner table. It is paying for help before anyone has to beg. It is keeping your family from falling through the floor when life gets violent. It is smiling in silence because nobody needs to know how much weight you are carrying. They only need to know they are safe. Level 6, the Eternal Legend. At the final level, money disappears. Not from your life. From the center of it, it no longer wakes you up with fear. It no longer tells you who to impress. It no longer decides what version of yourself you have to perform, to feel valuable. The war is over, and that is when the real question arrives. What do you do with freedom when it no longer has to rescue you? You are older now. Your hands have changed. The same hands that once held your head in a dark room are now holding a book, a set of keys, a folder, a small tree waiting to be planted. A younger man stands beside you. Maybe your son. Maybe your nephew. Maybe someone who reminds you of the version of yourself who thought debt was destiny. You do not tell him to chase money. You show him what money is for. Protection, options, time, dignity, a path out. You teach him that freedom is not just escaping the cage. It is coming back with the key. That is legacy. Not a number, not a mansion, not your name carved into something expensive. Legacy is when someone breathes easier because you fought a war they never had to see. The debt-ridden slave became the hermit. The hermit became the striker. The striker became the commander. The commander became the sovereign. And the sovereign became something greater than rich, a legend. Not because he owned everything, because he was finally owned by nothing.